This is the Horse Radio Network. This is episode 177 of the Dressage Radio Show on the Horse Radio Network, brought to you by Equestrian Collections. Hi, everybody. Glenn the Geek with you, producer of the Dressage Radio Show. Reese and Philip have the week off this week, well-deserved break. And I had the opportunity, with the help of Samantha Clark of the Eventing Radio Show, to do an interview that we thought that you would enjoy. Samantha and I used to work together on the 2010 radio show, the World Equestrian Games radio show for the World Equestrian Games held in Lexington, Kentucky. So it was fun to get to do an interview with her again. We interviewed Missy Ransehousen and also Paralympian Rebecca Hart about her experiences at the Olympics, and then also about her appearance on the Good Morning America show in New York last week. So we thought you'd like to hear a little behind the scenes of that. And here is the interview we did with Missy and Rebecca right after this word from Equestrian Collections. We're going to keep the show short this week. We hope you enjoy this interview, and Reese and Philip will be back next week. Thanks a lot, everybody, and have a terrific week. Hi, Glenn here with the Horse Radio Network, and I'm here with Debbie from Equestrian Collections with the Equestrian Collections Product of the Week.
Today I'm going to be featuring a bridle called the Techna Synthetic Dressage Bridle with Removable Flash. But what I really want to feature is the entire Techna line. These are synthetic bridles, but I'm telling you what, you can't even tell them from leather until it comes time to clean them. My trainer, I had a synthetic bridle on my horse, and he was riding it, and he kept saying, "Are you sure this isn't leather? It's that nice." They're soft, pliable, easy to work with, and easy to clean, and only $60 for a bridle that you can use virtually all the time. I probably wouldn't use it in the show ring, but any other time, it's absolutely the bridle to use. I use it all the time. I put it on a tack hook, and I hose it down when I'm done, and it's ready to go for the next time. And it comes in both a snaffle bridle, a dressage bridle, and several other items. I got the flash attachment with the little, thing that you can put a flash on a snaffle bridle. And if you need a flash for the day, you can, voila, you have that bridle too. I highly recommend this entire line. They also have saddles, which are as well synthetic. Love the Techna line. Give it a shot.
So you can find all of the Techna products at equestriancollections.com. Just search for Techna, Tekna, at equestriancollections.com.
Well, we're so lucky to have Missy Ransehousen. You're the coach and the chef de keep, I think, of the Para Equestrian team for the United States. And Becca Hart, who's becoming something of a celebrity. I thought we might have to call your agent or go through some other channels to get you. But no, you're still the same Becca that we know and love. Welcome to the show, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to be on.
Let's start with the Olympics before we get into talking about the Good Morning America. Becca, you've already been to the Olympics before. How did London compare?
This one was really awesome. This one was a very special event just because Para-Equestrian was basically created in the UK, and it was a coming home for our sport, really. And we had a fantastic turnout with the crowds and the audience, and they knew what they were looking at, and they knew about Para-Equestrian. So it was just a really neat experience to have that much support behind it. You walk down the street and people would stop you. I mean, it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience.
And of course, you're coming off the back of the Brits winning the team gold in Dressage, a couple of weeks beforehand. And did it raise your game being there? Did you think being among the Brits there and the whole atmosphere?
Absolutely. They are definitely the powerhouse in the sport, and of course, you want to rise to the occasion and do your best at that event and on that turf. So absolutely, we kind of went in there with the game face and did what we could do.
And Missy, Becca rode your ex-Prix St. George horse.
Yeah, I think he definitely enjoys Becca a lot more than he enjoyed me.
and that's a relatively new ride. That's a relatively new ride for Becca, and obviously he has to learn all the different signals and things for the the way she rides with her disability?
Yeah, he certainly, for me, his canter was the most difficult. He had a fabulous collected canter, but he was never great for his changes. So to actually come through this was, for him, I think it was a relief to not have to canter. He's got a great walk and a great trot, and that was all easy for him. So I think he really enjoyed Becca, and it did take some time. He's a testing horse, and it did take some time for them to develop a partnership. But in the end, he really he really liked her, lot more than me.
And Becca, tell us a little bit about the actual competition and the warm up and what it was like actually competing.
It was all the arenas were up on platforms and levels because they couldn't put anything into the ground. So it was quite an interesting atmosphere, and it was actually rather challenging for some of the horses because the footing, when you rode on it, had a little bit of a vibration to it. So it took a while for them to kind of settle into it. But the venue itself was really quite compact, so it was quite easy as a disabled person to work in it. And on my rather kind of dorky, nerdy side, I thought it was really pretty awesome that I got to ride down the prime meridian of the world, since Greenwich Park is 0 latitude. And the center line was directly in correspondence with that. So I love the fact that I got to ride down the center of the world.
I love how totally geeky that is.
I told you, right? I'm like my inner self.
2 days. Does that mean you're straddling two days or two? It's like a time traveler. It's so exciting.
Totally. Exactly.
And then, did you get to enjoy much of London sort of before or after the competition, or was it all business?
Before the competition, we were, strictly focused on the competition. So it was very much training and preparing for the competition days. But my sister came, and we spent about a week after we were done just kind of checking out the city and kind of seeing the sights, which is nice. So it was a good quality time there.
Now, were you guys housed in the Athletes Village, the same as the Olympians before you? Is that where you stayed?
Yeah, we were in the Olympic Village, and it was that actually made this games very special because in Hong Kong, for the Beijing Games, everyone else was in Beijing, and we were all kind of secluded off in Hong Kong. So you kind of lacked a little bit of the Olympic experience because you weren't with any of the other athletes or any of the other sports. So it was fun for that.
Okay, Becca, I love how she said, Samantha, I love how she said Olympic experience, which really means party. So was there partying going on in the village there, or aren't we allowed to talk about it?
Sometimes it happens.
In London.
Totally.
Not that Missy is going to answer that. Missy is not going to say a word.
No, I can never. Missy was quiet on that one.
We all know Missy doesn't party at all. That's not something.
No, never.
No.
That last day, there was a lot of fun to be had.
And now they're selling off. They're auctioning off bits of the Olympic Village, so you could buy that bed that you slept in, or the sheets that you had.
Exactly. Well, we got to come home with our bedspreads, with our duvets.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Huh. Yep. I've got the London 2012.
That's funny.
How did you find it compared, Missy, as a coach to the other Olympic Games that you've been to?
I think a couple of things, actually. I thought, it's the best place to have equestrian because they're fabulous, with everything that they do. Equine in England is always over the top and very well done, and certainly they did a tremendous job. For me, what I felt, it was actually probably one of our more difficult venues because of it being on platforms. So the horses, to me, didn't always settle the best because they're always looking around a bit, and you've got, even in your warm-up, you have horses on different levels.
Wow.
Some of the warm-up arenas were lower than others, so the horses were always looking down or looking up at other horses. And then, of course, you go from that then into the stadium where, with having all the crowds of people was just phenomenal, and it gets your adrenaline going. But again, it's a lot for a horse, especially for us, because over here we never have any spectators. So, that part was certainly, nothing that we can prepare for here. I think, Hong Kong was great in many ways. They did a great job there, but, you've got such drastic temperature changes that we had to go through in Hong Kong that, England was much easier for us in that sense. And the same, Greece, you're going a huge distance to get to Greece. So, too, in Greece, we trained on the venue for quite some time before we competed. So I think the athletes at that point didn't, now looking back at it, probably didn't peak at the right time. Because your adrenaline is so strong the moment you get there that I think, by the time the competition started, for them at that point, it wasn't quite the same. But this was really, in so many ways, a great experience. And being right there, this is the closest as well that we've ever been with staying in the village and being able to get to the venue. And all the other games have been always such a huge distance that to be able to go back and forth a couple times if you needed to in a day was easy enough to do, or, if you needed to go relax or, you were done for the day, it was certainly easy to get back to the village and have that life there as well. So it was, in so many ways, it was really a phenomenal games.
And I suppose we should mention the rest of the team. I mean, we've got you and Becky here, so we've been focusing on that. But you also took Jonathan Wentz, who was the rookie of the team and the youngest member, and he ended up getting the best score.
Yeah, he was great. He did a phenomenal job. I mean, it's the same horse that he rode at the World Games, so he's had a good partnership with this horse, and they know each other well. And what's I think most important for the riders is, especially at his age, is to have a horse that he has so much confidence in, so that when he does get nervous, he can believe in his horse. And that came out, even with his nerves, he has such determination that he rode really well, and put in, 3 solid good tests. And unfortunately, we're going to miss him greatly. It was good to have him there, and he loves the horse, and that really showed. In all of his rides, that showed.
And that must have made you proud as a coach. He's someone that, as you said, since the WEG, you've been sort of grooming him for this, and he was so excited to be there. And Rebecca, you went to his memorial service last week in Texas.
Yes, I did. It was a beautiful service, and it really, we really focused on celebrating his life and just kind of, carrying that into the future to kind of help the sport and everything, because he was so dedicated to, moving the sport forward. And so we really focused on all the happy moments in his life, and it was a beautiful send-off, and he will be greatly missed for sure, because he, he rode beautifully and was a great ambassador. So it's going to be hard, that next competition when he's not around, it's gonna be hard.
What will you aim for next, Becca? What is your, or should I ask Missy? What will the next big competition be?
She's been on TV, she's been in the Olympics. I think the movies are where she's going next.
That's right. Tabloid scandal. I'm going to see you in the supermarket when I'm shopping next.
Yeah, that's it.
Hollywood, here I come.
That's right. The new movie. I'm sure there'd be a reality TV show too.
I don't know. Missy's Farm could be a reality TV show. I think that would make a great TV show, actually. We need to call someone.
I know, we've got quite the revolving doors going on there.
Let's talk about, seeing as Glenn brought up, let's talk about the Good Morning America. Did you actually have time to enjoy it, or did it just flash by, or how? I mean, what was it like being on, live primetime television in the morning with millions of people watching?
It was truly a phenomenal experience. If you would have asked me, would I ever hold a horse in Times Square and be on live television, I probably would have laughed at you, because why would I ever have a horse in Times Square? But it was a absolutely amazing experience. Poor Missy had to drive into downtown New York with a horse trailer, and I owe her many, many, many.
I hope it was a little too horse.
You can play with
Starbucks. Yeah. It was still driving.
You didn't drive that enormous rig, did you?
No.
We went as small as possible.
Yeah, we went with smaller versions, but even that was hairy enough. I mean, oh my goodness. But it was an amazing experience, just being in the studio and talking to Anne, and Lolu handled himself so well under all of the circumstances, with the lights and the people and the cars. He just kind of stood there like he owned it. So.
Hey, I got a question now. Now that you're buddy with Anne, if they win the election, do you have her cell number? You just call her anytime and go visit?
I don't have quite that pull yet.
That'll be the next show.
That's right.
He goes to the White House.
Or a position in the administration. That's even better. You could be the director of something. Yeah.
There you go.
You could do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Everyone will start wondering why the U.S. para equestrian team is so well kitted out and well funded suddenly. But and Anne came with a TV crew on Monday to your farm and filmed you riding and doing some stuff there.
GMA did, yeah. ABC came in and filmed and just got a little backstory and talked to Missy and got some good footage, yeah.
Which was easier, the one on Monday or the live, or which was more difficult? Which were you more nervous about, do you think?
Oh, definitely going in.
Yeah.
Monday was easier because it was just there were just 3 of them, contracted, so they were much more low keyed and it was easy going. But they actually, when we drove into the city, they had told us that Becca would just be in the background holding Lolu while Anne spoke. But then once we got there and Becca walked into the studio, then they changed it all, and they wanted her to speak. So, then the nerves got flying again.
How could you have Becca there not speaking? She speaks so well.
I know, that's what I said. So it was great. It was great that they, saw the light like we know she has.
That's it. They saw how cute and charming she was, and that was it. She was a shoo-in.
Yep.
We're talking like she's not here. You know that, don't you?
I was going to say, stop it, you guys. Stop it.
Now, were you surprised
it was impressive.
Were you surprised at the amount of equipment and the number of people it takes to put on a show like that?
Oh my gosh,
absolutely!
It was amazing. Just the lights and the background people.
Yeah, that's what Glenn and I had behind the scenes. You didn't know that. I always look as good as you did on Wednesday morning, Becca. I've got all that makeup on and my hair is neat and tidy.
Exactly.
I was looking for Missy in the background, but I didn't see her.
Yeah, you can see my legs. Only my legs at times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Your best.
No.
Well, I know, Becca, you have to get back to work.
Yes, I will have to head back to the floor.
Well, thanks again to Samantha Clark for joining me from the Eventing Radio Show to do that interview. And as I said, Reese and Philip will be back next week after their week off. Reese is off on vacation, and Philip had some things going this week. So we'll be back here again next week for a regular show here on the Dressage Radio Show. Don't forget, you can listen to all the past episodes at dressageradio.com, and you can hear all the other shows on the network at horseradionetwork.com. Thank you, everybody. Have a terrific week and be safe.